So guys, welcome back to another video, and in this one today we are going to be looking at some players who potentially could feature in the second part of the Road to the Final promo. So welcome to my Road to the Final Team 2 predictions. If you know what players you want in FIFA 21 and you don't fancy gambling on FIFA points, then check out my sponsor IG Vault, link is in the description, and if you use the code Kieron you'll get yourself a pretty big discount. Now I woke up today feeling quite ill, so this video might just be a bit all over the place, so apologies for that. Anyway, in this video we're going to focus more on teams which didn't feature in the batch 1 of the Road to the Final, so with that in mind, let's just get straight into things, shall we? But before we do that, if you could leave a like rating on the vid, that'd be very much appreciated. And in the comments below, of course, do let me know who you think could feature in this second squad of live UCL items. So from Sevilla, I've gone with Acuna, and I just feel like this would be a fun card for Ultimate Team because he's got one of them items that are just really well rounded. Fair enough, he doesn't have like good pace right now, but if Sevilla can progress to a decent level in the Champions League, this card obviously could become something really, really special, and it could become one of them cards that you can use in just all different kinds of positions, to be honest. Like, this would be a great super sub. You could either use it in the left back role, or you could use him as a CDM, which is where I think he could potentially be best deployed. So one to look out for there. Other options from Sevilla could include maybe someone like Jesus Navas, Fernando, like I mentioned in the previous video, or even someone like Rakitic. Now, I know Real Madrid have already technically had a card in the Road to the Final promo with that Isco who came via an SBC, but I just can't see EA not putting a Real Madrid card into Road to the Final as a tradable, so I do expect to see one of their players in Team 2. And obviously, there are multiple options. I personally would really like to see a Road to the Final, Fel and Mendy, and I spoke about him in the other prediction video, but if EA don't go for that, there are obviously other options. Lucas Vazquez actually wouldn't be too bad, to be honest. After a couple of boosts, he could become quite good. Imagine a Road to the Final Varane. That card would be very expensive, but I think one of the more likely options is to see Eden Hazard, and he could be the headlining player of the second Road to the Final team. On the next slide, we have a player from Olympiacos. Now, in Group C, I think it is, Marseille are bottom of the group, and they still got a Road to the Final card with Sanson, so why couldn't Olympiacos get one? And to be honest, I didn't really know who to pick from these, so I went for Cisse. He actually got a Man of the Match card in last year's Ultimate Team for helping knock Arsenal out of the Europa League last year, which, you know, wasn't fun to watch for me. But anyway, he's one of the options I came up with. They could go with Rafinha, the right back. That'd be pretty cool. And yeah, there aren't too many standout options, if I'm being honest. But hopefully they still get included, because that would be cool. Maybe even a Road to the Final Bruma. That could be a nice one potentially, especially if Olympiacos can somehow get out of this group. But won't lie, it's going to be tough for them because Portu and Man City are both ahead. I shall not be attempting to pronounce Visca's team name because you guys know how bad I am at pronouncing stuff, and I'll probably absolutely butcher it, so let's just say it's his Turkish League team. He could feature in this promo. He's obviously a very popular player in FUT, was SBC food for the most of FIFA 20, but also picked up some pretty usable special cards as well, and maybe he could pick up another one this week with a Road to the Final item. Now, it's very unlikely that his team are going to get out of Group H because Man United are currently top, RB Leipzig is second, and then PSG are in third. So yeah, it's going to be a big ask for them to get out of the group. It's going to be a big ask for them to even finish third, to be honest, but it could be done. Who knows? Would you like to see this Road to the Final card? Let me know in the comments. Now, if this next one happens, I can only imagine that this card is going to be incredibly popular. Non-informed Promes in FIFA 21 is one of the more OP players that you can find. He's absolutely brilliant value for money, and if you haven't tried him yet, I do recommend doing so. A Road to the Final variant of him, I think, would be incredibly popular within the game, and I think it would be a great choice for EA to make as well, because yeah, it'd just be nice to have in Ultimate Team. This card could either be a starter or a super sub, and I think it could do a great job in both roles. Other options from Ajax include Anthony, who I spoke about in my other prediction video. They could go with someone like Tadic, and they could even go with someone like Lisandro Lopez. So, or you know what, they'll probably put Onana in just to troll us all, because everyone packs Onana in pretty much every 50 or 100k pack. So, yeah, there are options there. Which player from Ajax would you like to see in Road to the Final? Personally, I can't not look past Promes. He is definitely the standout for me. Manchester City currently top Group C, so it looks like they will be getting through to the knockout stages, and I have gone for a Road to the Final Gabriel Jesus, and This would just be one of them cards that I think would be really, really good in game. Like, his non-inform is already really nice, and a boosted version of him I think would be incredibly unpopular, and I think it'd be a very good item for the game as well. Instead of Gabriel Jesus, though, there are obviously many options from Manchester City. EA could go with an Aguero if they want a big name, or, you know, just a bigger rating in the team. But if I'm being honest, I would actually rather see Jesus in there instead. Other options, maybe they'll go with someone like Phil Foden, and they could even go with KDB if they wanted a really big player in there. Sterling could be an option, but I believe he had one in the previous FIFA. There's also Mahrez as well, but I think the same stands for him. So hopefully we get a good player from Man City in batch number 2. Now, I mentioned this earlier, I know we've already had a Chelsea player in the Road to the Final promo, technically via the Mason Mount SBC, but I also wouldn't be shocked to see another one in packs as an actual tradable. So I was looking for the options of Chelsea players, and obviously they've got so many live items already, with them having about 3 or 4 want-to-watch cards in the game, so maybe they actually won't be included, who knows, but I think a good card could be a Road to the Final Tomori. And imagine that pairing, Road to the Final Tomori next to Road to the Final Kosterman. You've got 2 very cheap OP centre-backs getting boosted. I think that'd be a pretty cool back line. So, yeah, what do you guys think of that? And how much do you think a Road to the Final Tomori would cost? He's actually still in my Weekend League team. I think his non-inform is ridiculously overpowered. And I'm still amazed that it's so cheap. I know it gets packed a lot because of its low rating, but it's such a good card. It really, really is. Portu are another side who I expect to feature in team number 2, and we have a couple of options from them to discuss as well. I think Sergio Oliveira is a shout. He's actually missed out on an inform on 1 or 2 occasions this year, so maybe they were holding out on him just to include him in this promo. I don't know. Musa Marega could make for a good Road to the Final item, as could Chancel Mbembe. And then as a wildcard pick, we could get a Road to the Final Felipe Anderson. He hasn't played too much for Porto since joining, I don't think, but I think a special version of him in the game would be relatively popular, especially with him having those Brazilian links. And now we come on to Borussia Dortmund, a team who I definitely think will get a card on Friday. Like, I'd be very surprised if they don't. And once again, it's another side where I've got multiple options. Thorgan Hazard, for example, Rafael Guerreiro maybe, Thomas Meunier also, Road to the Final options. But I've actually gone with Emre Can just because I think he would make a really, really good midfield option, especially with how well-rounded he is. Like, within 1 or 2, I think it'd be 3 upgrades, he'd have 80 pace and everything would be like plus 80s. So there is potential for this card to become absolutely insane if Dortmund can progress to a decent stage in the Champions League. So I think this one will just be fantastic for Ultimate Team. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. It's now time to discuss Lazio, and if I'm being honest, I didn't feel like there were too many options for a Road to the Final from them in terms of, like, you know, outstanding or good-looking Ultimate Team cards. Obviously, they could go with someone like Ciro Immobile, which would be pretty high rated, but he's not a card which comes with too much hype. So other options could be maybe someone like Parolo or Milinkovic-Savic. I think that could be a very nice item, or they could go with Correa, who could have a decent bit of pace about him, and also he does offer some very good Argentinian links, especially in the Serie A, so I think that is an option. Another wildcard option could be Pepe Reina, just, you know, if they need a goalkeeper, that could be rather interesting, but yeah, we'll see what they go with for Lazio. They're currently second in the group and do have a good chance of progressing. They're in a group with Dortmund, who are currently top, Club Brugge, and also Zenit. Talking of Club Brugge, Clinton Mata could make for a pretty good Road to the Final item because he's pretty OP. His non-inform is actually very, very good. It's obviously not an easy item to get into like top tier teams, but it's a very, very good card, and if you can get it in your starting 11, it will do a job for you. Other options from Club Brugge include players like Mignolet. That would be a bit of an interesting one. Hans Vanaken, Ruud Vormer, and also Emmanuel Dennis could be an option as well. He's pretty pacey, so it'd be interesting to see if he got in. And there's even FM legend Balanta, who could be chosen. Now, I've got to be honest, when selecting a player from Juventus, I kind of struggled to actually pick one, because obviously they've got many good players, like there's no doubt about that, but picking a player for the Road to the Final promo was actually quite tricky. In the end, I thought, you know what, Sandro would be massive for the game. So I feel like that could be a pretty standard EA pick. But in terms of other options, I'm really unsure. Maybe a Morata could be cool, a Rabiot, but other than that, there isn't too many options. I don't think they will go with someone like Chiellini or Bonucci. I definitely could be wrong with that, but I don't think they will. I can't see them throwing Ronaldo into this promo. That would be insane if they did. Imagine that, road to the final Ronaldo. How much would that cost? Be pretty expensive, right? So yeah, obviously there are many options from Juve. I actually wouldn't mind seeing a Dybala. I know he's had one in the past, but Dybala's so good this year, and he's so cheap as well. So road to the final variant of him would actually be quite nice. In the comments below, let me know what road to the final player you would like to see if you were picking from Juve. For the final player in this video and for the PSG choice, I have actually gone with Rafinha, and to be honest, the reason I've gone with that is because it would provide a nice, perfect link for Neymar in the game, and it just seems like, you know, a smart pick. Obviously though, PSG's team is just full of talent and options, so there are other ones available, and I actually think Di Maria could be in with a shout. Now I know he featured in the Rule Breakers promo previously, but he was in line to get an inform this week and didn't get it, so because of that, I think Di Maria has a good chance at featuring in tomorrow's Road to the Final promo, so look out for that. If Di Maria doesn't get in, other PSG options could include players like Icardi or Verratti, and Verratti would actually be quite a good one because obviously he's non-inform, like people aren't really interested in it, it's ultimately SBC food, but a Road to the Final variant which could get quite good could be quite nice for Ultimate Team. So guys, there you have it. We've just looked at a bunch of players who could feature in tomorrow's Road to the Final Batch 2. In the comments below, let me know which players you think will feature tomorrow. Also, let me know which ones you agree and disagree with. Let's just have a conversation in the comments, shall we? I'll reply to as many possible as I can. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and don't forget to leave a like on the video. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.